So I just finished working in the pink. I'm just going to twist it around the black, always twisting it the same way each time I do a new row, just to carry up those colors nice and neatly. So here's my original beginning of round marker. My rest of mine are pink, and this one I just left as a different color so that I can, you know, keep it apart and know that it's the beginning of round marker. And then I have a second beginning of round marker that's a different color also, because as I'm going around this purl row with my main color, I'm going to be starting to move these markers around a little bit. So here's the stitch that was previously wrapped. At the start of each wave, you're going to have one of these that need to be knit together with its wrap. So I've got, here's the wrap. I'm just going in, catching the wrap and the stitch together. Well, let me do that more on camera. Grabbing those and knitting those together and then pulling a little snugly. So I'm just going to go all the way around. Here I'm 4 stitches in, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Once I'm 10 stitches in, I'm going to place my new beginning of round marker. Okay, so this is where my beginning of the round is going to be then after I finish this round here. So I'm just going to purl to this one. I'll take it out. I'll purl 10 stitches over and place it again. And then I'll purl to the next one, take it out, purl 10 stitches over, place it again. So I'm going to do that all the way around until I get around to the start. Alright, I just placed my last regular stitch marker here, and I'm about to come up to my old beginning of round marker. Yeah, wouldn't you know, I split a stitch on camera. Dang it. Alright. Coming up to that original beginning of round marker. When I get to it, I can let it drop off, save it for the next time around. Okay. And now I've got to work up to my new beginning of round marker, and I already purled all these stitches, so I'm going to knit the next few stitches just to get to where I need to be. I just finished my round. Here's my contrasting color that I'm trying to carry up that's at the back here. And really I want this color to be over here. I mean, I could just snip it or loop it and move it over there, and then later I'll come back and weave in all these ends. But I mean, there's another way. You can either play end management or you can play yarn ball management. It's one or the other. And if I have to pick, I'll pick yarn ball management every time. So what I'm going to do is just like I would normally twist the yarn together before I go, you know, for another round, I'm going to twist the yarn together and then take the next stitch, and I'm knitting these until I get to that new marker. I was purling around, and now I'm just going to knit these until I get to this marker here. And then before I take the next stitch, I'm going to twist them again. Knit the next stitch. Twist them again. Knit the next stitch. Twist them again. And I'm twisting the same direction each time. Twist them again. I mean, this is getting kind of annoying probably, but that's all I'm doing. I'm twisting them and twisting them. Now, let me show you the mess I've got to deal with when I get to where I'm going, because this pattern has a lot of short rows, which means my contrast yarn is really got a lot of twist in it. Almost like when you're spinning, it's gathering up twist after every time you're turning it around. All right, and now I'm back to where I need to be. And actually, I'm going to start using my contrast yarn, and just to kind of lock these up while I deal with all of my ends, I'll just knit a couple of the stitches there. There. Now, I'm not going to worry about losing my stitch marker, and I will eventually be knitting all the way around, but look at this nonsense. Look at this mess I've got now to deal with. So, what I like to do, I don't know if I'll have enough room to show you. I'm going to pull this black. I'm just coming down to the bottom, and I'm pulling on the black and pulling all that slack out. So now all I have to deal with are all these twists. And I'm gonna pull it, pull it, pull it, pull it, pull it. I'm pulling it all down into the bottom. Now I'm gonna give myself enough room here. I'm gonna pick up my work, and I don't know if I'll be able to show this because I don't have very much room between the camera and the actual table here. But when I lift up my work, look at all that twist. And I'm gonna let, if I hold it up in the air, my project, I can just let it dangle and I can let it untwist. So here you can see, here's an area that's twisted right here. And I can tell the yarn that's coming from the ball is at the back of the work, and the yarn that's going to the project is at the front of the work. So that tells me, it actually tells me what direction to spin the ball so that I'll get the twist out. So I want to turn the ball in the same direction. So if the yarn is at the back, I'm going to twist the ball towards where the yarn is coming out. So I'm going to sit here and twist it this way. Usually I've got two hands. Two hands goes much faster, and I can really get this thing spinning and get all that spun out. Another way would be, instead of, you know, twisting all those stitches and hiding the yarn as you travel to the next area, you can just pull a little bit, and then later you can snip it and tie those ends in. It really doesn't matter. It's whatever you prefer. I prefer to do it this way for a couple reasons. Number one, I think it's nice and neat. I'd rather deal with the yarn ball management than the end management. Number two, especially if I'm knitting a sample like this. I mean, I have a good idea of how it's going to turn out, but if I need to rip it back, I don't want to be dealing with segments of yarn. I'd rather have my yarn in one whole piece, especially since this is a sock set and it's only 20 grams. So especially for experimentation purposes, I really prefer this method because the yarn is not being cut, and then if I did need to tear the whole thing out for whatever reason, the design didn't work, who knows, things happen, I've got it all in one piece. I can start again, and I haven't damaged the yarn, and I'm not working with scraps for the prototype.